Welcome back to Studio Tamera, the mystical paintress. About 25 degrees here, third week in December, and we're gonna go out painting. Sleet and snow, the longest day of darkness of the year is coming soon, so find joy. Yep, these roads are not good. Must go slow in four-wheel drive. Have backup layers in the car. This is gonna be fun today. Wow, look at those brave swans out there in the water. Oh my goodness. It is winter. Oh, I see Heiner's van. Yay! Well, there'll be two of us painting. Oh my goodness. So, the sleet, we found this overhang, and there's lots of pretty views here to choose from. There's our red-tailed hawk in that pen. These are the days only the die-hard painters show up. There he is. Hi, buddy. Hi, Ranger. Isn't nature amazing? So I am set up here. Need to figure out what exactly I want to paint. So the first thing is using the viewfinder to pick a nice winter scene. Here we go. So I am just taking different ochres and whites and putting in these grasses out here. It looks a lot more yellow than it really is, mostly because lighting's bad, the weather's bad. It's just a very interesting, challenging day to paint, but sometimes these are the most rewarding. Isn't this fun? So lucky to be able to come out and do this. So if you want to kill yellow, by the way, I've got a little violet gray here. I'm going to mix it with white because purple kills yellow. I just want to show you. See how that'll kill the yellow. But I don't want to kill all the yellow. I kind of like it. Just want to soften some of it a little bit. The far hill line's tricky because your mind tells you it's white, but compared to the foreground, it's actually gray. So we gotta mix a little bit of a gray color. Take some violet, gray, and white. We'll see if that'll work. Let's see. I'm gonna water it down a little bit. Pretty close. Another thing, that violet will match real nicely with the yellow, because purple and yellow are complementary colors. So, and it's good to have a little difference in broken color back there and not have everything perfect too. So it goes like that. I'm not really following my rules today. I'm just kind of putting these in here. I'm going to add some burnt sienna to that mix and white. to put some of these trees in, suggest some of these trees. And we'll go up off of the board in places. We're just suggesting these. We don't want to draw them, otherwise we're going to have a stick, a stick, a stick, and that won't look good. So, and some of these do come down into the land back here. So, our job as artists is creating the illusion of what's there. So, I need to lighten this a little because of the snow, of course. I'm going to show you how we're going to add some snow as well. I'm going to put a little snow in the background here. Got a lot of tricks that we're going to learn today. Stick with me, guys. It's going to be fun. Always don't be afraid to use your fingers. So the next thing I want to do is put some of these water lines in here. Or ice lines. I'm not really quite sure yet what they are. So I'm going to pull some cobalt blue and white and just kind of put some of these frosty things in here. Cobalt blue and white. I get used to mixing these colors at home. You hear a blue jay. This is a very beautiful, special spot. Okay, and the water kind of gets less icy and actually almost darker, for lack of a better word. I'm going to add a little brown to it. As you can see here, see how it gets a little darker? I'm not sure if I want to make it too dark. Just a little darker in places, so it reads as... I don't want to overpaint this either. I want to keep this very plein air, meaning when I say that, very loose and just a record of the colors, the mood, the temperature. It's definitely cold and icy. There is no debating that. A lot of painters didn't even make it today because of that. So. Got our blue jay friends here, and I hear some sandhill cranes that have not yet learned they need to go south. I think they might learn today. Okay, so I don't want to do too much in here yet. Just because wow, hear the birds? Magical. Dang. Now I'm going to do the sky, and I'm just going to put a little bit, I'm just going to dab a little bit. It's kind of a gray sky, kind of a white gray sky. Again, this is not the easiest thing to do under these conditions, but Makes it worth it when you get home and look at it and realize you were out here in it. Okay, so to make it look real, it's going to need a few sky holes, but they can't be too big because this is very far away. See? So see, that's far too much. But we're going to correct that right now. Hold on, we're going to correct this overabundance of sky holes by just touching here a little. Remember, this is just the illusion. Wow, it sounds like it's raining ice. Crazy. Those Canadian geese. Time to go south, kids. So this will just create a rainy, dreary, far tree line, I think. Yeah, it's close enough. I'm going to add a little bit of white in here, just a tad, just because it is here. When you look at snow, it's really interesting because sometimes it's white, and sometimes it's blue, and sometimes it's purple. And the most important thing to do is just look so that you know what you're painting. So I'm looking out down there, and there are areas with snow. Quite a few actually in here. And then there's a little sienna I see. All trial and error, you know, a few little leaves here and there in the snow. I still see oak leaves. I'm gonna add a little dark in here. Just almost sounds and feels like rain. So I know this looks really yellow through this camera, but I think when it's done, it's going to be exactly what we want. So, still too yellow. Add a hint of purple and white, just a hint. And you can kind of come in here and tone it down a little. You don't want to tone it down too much because you don't want to lose your drawing, your original skeleton. We do need some a little dark at the bottom here too. Sometimes that helps, sometimes it doesn't. I'm thinking this time it maybe didn't. Now I'm mixing a good neutral dark gray with some burnt umber and ultramarine and white. I'm just going to play with it until I kind of get what I want. You can add some violet gray. Whew, getting cold. Okay. Try not to move the camera, but I am out on location here. So, alright, so we got a little pine tree right there. And it comes up here, here, this guy right there. This is where you have to actually look at what you're drawing and kind of try to get it as close as you can. You can refine it and change color later. Just want to get the correct shade. And I believe this was a planted landscape tree for the nature center. I don't think this was a wild tree, but I could be wrong. Uh-oh, the snow's starting to get on my palette. I definitely don't want that. There's that guy. Add a little white to that mix. And let's put the dude next to him. This is a white oak. Trunk's still white. And it's kind of like right here. And it's going to go all the way up off the board. Light source is coming this way. So we'll put a little darker gray on this side. I apologize about the lighting. This is not a professional film crew. I'm just trying to share the plein air experience with folks that would like to try it or want to see what it's about. Okay, almost some purple on that tree, isn't it? See how it gets a little more three-dimensional when you do that? Make it a little darker. Yeah, okay. Okay, I'm going to put this tree in, or at least suggest it. It can't be the same thickness as this one, or it won't look right. Plus it's a lot smaller tree and it's coming up out of this brush. And it just kind of goes like that. It just kind of comes up. And off of the board it goes. It does kind of have second runner here. Trying to hold the camera as still as I can. Not close enough to identify what kind of tree this is, so when you don't know what kind of tree it is, you just, rule of thumb is paint what you see. And I see a bunch of cool little different direction branches coming off of this guy from way down here. I'm going to bring one off of the painting just to tie it in. So I just very lightly, just barely touch my brush. Just barely. Have too much paint, you can either lift it with a dry brush or a palette knife. I'm going to lift some of this off of here. I just feel like I have too much paint on here because I need to go over it with a little sienna and a little possibly sap green, just not too much. Got to paint some negatives in here as well, so if I have big heavy clumps of dark, I won't be able to paint on top of it. It'll make mud. So, alright. Another thing I'm seeing, I don't know how much of this I want to put in, but I'm seeing some oak leaves in here. I might try and put in a couple here. Let's see. I'll try and just take a little sienna and a little cad orange and just put a few. It might make it convincing, it might make it messy. Hard to know, but it's the beautiful thing about plein air painting. Trial and error and having fun. So yeah, we're gonna try put a few of these oak leaves. We even have a couple coming across here. There. Well, hi, cute little friend. What are you doing? Looking for some bugs? At adding just a hair of purple. I don't even want it to be purple, but I definitely want a purpley tint. And just put a tiny bit in places. A little there, a little here maybe. Doesn't work, you can go over it with, certainly go over it with dark. And that's how you get that 3D look. And I might be overcompensating because I'm in the shade here under this. I think the birds want me to get my seeds out. I'm going to use the palette knife This is a palette knife. And I'm going to take a little umber and sienna and just load one side of my knife and put some of this hosier or whatever, that purple grassy looking stuff. I might be saying it wrong, but I'm just going to suggest a few, and I'm not going to try and draw in every one. Just put a couple of them in here because they're there. You don't want them all the same length. You don't want them all going the same direction. Nature is very random and beautiful and amazing. The humans want to make it make sense, and it doesn't. It's random. So there's that. We've got a couple here also. And then if you're going to have a dark sticking up, you're going to also need light. So mix some Naples yellow and white together. I'm going to show you how to do snow too after we finish this little pine tree. Oh, this is just a special little place for me, so I really wanted to paint it. See how now when you do these final touches, it starts to look more real. This is what gives it the wow effect when people look at a painting and say, wow, that's cool. Why do I like that? What's making my eyes, wow. It's the layers, setting. This tree gets set in by putting this over it. This gets pushed back by putting this over it. Just little fun little tricks. You don't want to overdo it either. It's really easy to overdo this. Just do a couple and then let it be. And if it looks like too much, the beauty about oil, lift it off. So dark under here. You can very easily screw this tree up by making it too green. So I have mixed a little sap green and a little ultramarine and a little sienna brown. And I'm just going to see how this does. I need to suggest this tree without making it look like it was pasted on by a magazine. And without making it look like plein air is tricky sometimes. Very tricky. Okay, that was incredible. I just had a hawk literally swoop down. I think he might have been after my hat. That was incredible. Wish I had that on video. My hat does look like a mouse. So, oops. Well, that happened. So if you look at the base of this tree, there is snow. And there's no snow on my base. So I gotta pick up a little snow here. Put a little up on this tree. Usually you get one shot with that, with the palette knife. I'm not so sure if I want to do this one. But there is snow here, too. The illusion of snow, the easiest way to do it is just big, thick chunks of white paint on a palette knife. Works like magic. Is it cold though? It gets a little sticky. My voice gets crackly. Okay. I feel like we got some more here. And I'm going to put a big thing of it here. There, just like that. Now I do want to put a little bit in this, up on these branches, a couple of them. Just a couple, very little, very little. You can so quickly overdo this, and you don't want to do that, so. Okay. I'm really used to working wet on wet. Hi, pretty baby. Hi, Ranger. Hi. Little palette knife, added some darks. The bottom of a tree will usually be the darkest because it's the furthest from the sun. Yeah, I'm starting to like how this. Okay, so this is pretty close to what I envisioned. I need to add some snow and a little more white. I signed it thinking I was about done and forgot I was going to show you guys how to do snow. So you need a flat, clean brush. You're going to take some of your, I have in here Gamsol. I'm not sure what you have. And we're going to make a really watery white. Really, it's got to be really watered down. And then you're going to take your thumb or your finger and, I'm not sure if you can see this. You see the snow? And it's just that easy. If you don't feel comfortable doing this to your painting, practice at home on cardboard maybe. Then you have a nice little wintry painted scene. It's snowing, it's beautiful, it's fun. It makes it much, much more fun and interesting when it has snow. Lots of birds. Also, outdoor painting, bring bird food for the birds. Don't forget that. There it is. Now I need to go over all my water again, all my snow. My fingers are going numb quick. I'm about done, I'll tell you that. Whew. Alright, so we gotta put the hawk under snow. There we go. There we go. Now it's done. Yes! Love it. Can you see it okay there? See my little hawk? Love him. My little plein air painting on a cold day. Ranger the hawk. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Thank you to all my subscribers and my Patreon followers. My little plein air paintings and prints are available in my Etsy shop at Studio Tamera. And hope everybody learned a lot, had fun today. Paint on. Time to fly south, guys. Silly birds.